Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I shall be discussing and giving you some of my initial thoughts and feelings on the newly shown Transformers Netflix Wave 3 Voyager class assortment. Unfortunately we do not as of yet know what the deluxe and leader assortment will entail, but taking a look here at the Voyagers, for the most part we do appear to be in for a treat. Now we do get two Voyager class reveals here as per tradition it would seem with these Netflix figures. One of them, if I'm 100% honest, I'm not all that excited about, but the second one looks really interesting. And I also believe that one of the Voyagers in this assortment will also have many other characters themed around this particular colour scheme. But regardless, let's get straight into it. So our first reveal for the Voyager class assortment of the Netflix series is Optimus Primal and Rat Trap. Now these figures, I've got to be honest and say, do look very similar as far as their decos are concerned to their original individual releases. I do believe these here are taking more inspiration from how they actually appeared in the original Beast Wars series. So for collectors who perhaps missed out on the original versions, these ones here may in fact be the ones to go with. Optimus Primal, I believe the changes are rather subtle. If anything, the only thing that really does stand out to me is that the blades now appear a little more gunmetal than as opposed to the silver that we got on the original version, and the actual chest piece itself also does appear to match its appearance from that original 90s series. Rat Trap, however, has had a complete makeover, this time sporting a much darker plastic used for the actual almost fur texturing detail to his rat mode, and the colour of orange that they have used too is a little more darker than when compared to his original version, which was definitely a little brighter. None of these figures unfortunately appear to come with any form of blast effects, which is something that we have come to expect with these Netflix Voyager battle packs, and of course usually we do get the main Voyager figure and then two Battle Masters, whereas of course this time, considering Core Class has now replaced the Battle Masters, it would make sense that we only get two characters within this particular set. As we move along to their beast modes, once again there really isn't a whole lot different here. You can just see that Optimus Primal does appear to also be sporting a darker colour scheme, and of course the colour of grey that they have used for Rat Trap is a lot darker to match his appearance from the original series. These are figures that I will more than likely be picking up, as I have picked up the entirety of the Netflix assortment, but I maybe would have liked to have seen a little more of an interesting deco, or perhaps a slightly more interesting take on Optimus Primal. I personally thought that we were going to be seeing Optimus Primal fully weaponized up with some of the fossilizers like was alluded to when we actually got that original piece of Kingdom artwork. It would have been really cool if we could have got a Paleotrex repaint included with this figure, as of course Paleotrex's head does actually become Optimus Primal's mace, which I believe is a really nice nod to the original 90s toy, but definitely quite a nice looking repack for those of you who perhaps missed out on the original runs of these figures. However, for those of us who have already picked them up, I think this here will more than likely be an easy miss for most. Then we turn to the second reveal. Now this here has got to be the most intriguing and one of the best repaints I personally believe we've ever seen for the Netflix series. We have the Decepticon Sparkless Seeker. Now of course this Seeker here is based on his appearance from the actual Netflix series itself, when the Autobots do go to, I believe it's the Sea of Rust, to reclaim the Allspark, which is really awesome. Unfortunately no Allspark accessory actually included with this figure, but this is the same Tetrajet Siege style of Voyager class that we have gotten released multiple times, but I think this is probably the most unique colour scheme that we've got in this moulding so far, and it looks really awesome. Of course there have also been various leaks of a Sparkless barricade, so I'm almost certain that we shall be seeing more of these Sparkless characters actually introduced into the third wave of Netflix series figures, and it would stand to reason as well, as of course Siege has now come and gone, so Hasbro can really begin getting down into the repaints which actually appeared in the show. As we take a look at the Battle Masters that he comes with, he will include Sparkless Singe and a Sparkless Caliburst. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. These do in fact come with blast effects, which is super cool. I really do like the ones that we get with Caliburst. It does appear to be this almost purple blast effect, which looks super cool. And then as we take a look at them here in their alternate modes, the Tetrajet once again looks really cool. I love the fade. I really like the green that they've cast the figure in. It almost does appear here, at least from the promo images, as being a metallic green, and then we've got the orange for the cockpit, and I really love the weathering fade that we've got on the wings, and of course at the front of the nose cone. So overall that just about wraps up my initial thoughts and feelings on these two particular figures. Personally, I do find the Optimus Primal battle pack to be a little bit of a letdown. As mentioned, I would have loved to have seen a fossilizer weaponized Optimus Primal here, much like we have seen from the artwork. If he could have included a slight variation of Paleotrex, that would have been super cool, but for those of you who have already picked up this figure, I'm sure this will be an easy miss. But then on the other hand, if you want more cartoon accurate decos, these figures are probably better substitutes than compared to their individually released mass retail counterparts. The Sparkless Seeker looks really cool. I really don't have any fault thoughts with that at all. I'm looking forward to it a lot, and I'm really hoping that Hasbro do continue to release more of these Sparkless themed characters, as of course the Sparkless Barricade, from what we have seen, looks really cool, and the paint deco here on the Sparkless Seeker does also follow suit. There were also some additional reveals that were shown yesterday that Hasbro shall indeed be re-releasing some of the original Beast Wars characters. Now, much like these Netflix repaints, they are merely just repaints of the original figures, but I think they look really awesome, and for someone like myself who never grew up with the Beast Wars series and is really looking to recollect some of those original figures, this here is the perfect opportunity to do so. I do believe the Optimus Primal and Megatron, when they were originally released, were classed under Ultra Class, but of course, as that scale class no longer exists, they are now being cast under the Leader Class price point, and I think that is more than reasonable, especially considering as time has gone by, plastic is now more expensive to manufacture, so it definitely does stand to reason to bump them up slightly as far as a price point is concerned, and they look really, really well done. Of course, as mentioned, I personally have never had any in-hand experience with them, but they look super cool. So we are getting Optimus Primal and Megatron, and I also believe they've revealed Cheetor and Rat Trap, and Rat Trap, from what I remember, is actually a Scout class figure, which is really, really interesting. I'd love to see more of these Beast Wars characters actually re-released. I'm pretty certain that if this wave is successful, that they shall do so, much like we have seen with some of the G1 reissues. So overall, finally, in the month of March, we are getting some Transformers reveals, and these reveals all make me really excited for what Hasbro have in store for us throughout the rest of the year. Of course, Toy Fair would have taken place 2 weeks ago now, so I do imagine that we shall see more and more reveals as the weeks go on, and I'm almost certain that the reveal for Wave 3 of Kingdom is just around the corner. And of course, Hasbro are still yet to reveal their Leader Class or their spoiler pack figure. They never really reveal it, they more or less just show us the packaging art, and then of course we do have to find out what the deluxe assortment for this line is, which I believe is Cheetor, the Sparkless Barricade, a repaint of Paleotrex in an almost purple colour scheme to give homage to one of the opening scenes of Beast Wars where Megatron does actually scan Earth in order to acquire his T-Rex mode. And I also do believe that we are getting a Ironhide repaint, which is of course one of the Quintesson clones. So definitely really looking forward to getting these figures in hand, and of course I shall provide reviews on everything, including the reissues of the Beast Wars characters. I would love to know down in the comment section below on what you guys think of these brand new reveals. Will you be picking any of them up? Are you happy that we are getting the Sparkless Seeker and Optimus Primal re-release and repaint for this Netflix wave, or would have you maybe like to have seen something slightly interesting? I personally believe that Wave 2 of the Netflix assortment is the best wave we've gotten so far. The Soundwave, the Bumblebee and Elita 1 were all fantastic entries, and were really the first time that we saw Hasbro introducing almost new molds into the mix. So it is a shame that they are revoking back to, of course, just repaints, but I think we are dealing with very, very cool repaints. Once again, let me know down below, and be sure to let me know on whether or not you will be picking up any of those Beast Wars reissues. I thank you all for watching, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.